David, do you still believe you'll win this Test match?
Yeah, obviously in any position you feel like you can win a Test match. Obviously it's disappointing how today finished, but look, we're still in the game and we're always going to be hopeful.
David, you got a few today and got them fairly quickly. Can you put your finger on quite why this game has gone in fast forward?
Yeah, I honestly I don't know. Obviously, starting point was us not batting well in our first innings. Obviously their bowlers put the ball in the right area and took 10 good wickets. And I think if we look at our dismissals, I think England bowled very well. They, I think probably 6 or 7 of us got out to genuinely very good balls. And if you don't start well on day one after winning the toss and batting, you're sort of chasing your tail, and that's why we're in the position that we are now.
David, Peter Neville showed patience. Probably a lot of batsmen maybe didn't. Is there any way that Australia can go about fixing that, or is it just they just need to take their time in future endeavours? Yeah,
look, I'm not too sure. We've seen our top order and middle order score plenty of runs before, and look, I think it's totally different atmosphere as well to Lords. When you've got the crowd roaring behind you and it's got a bowler bowling very well, and we always talk about identifying that spell, and that spell there of Stephen Finn was exceptional, and we've got to try and nut that out as batsmen and be patient, but each individual is different, but yeah, we've got to be better at that and try and dig deep and be patient, and I don't have the answer for you, sorry.
Standing, Chris.
David, obviously to win, the tail needs to produce something special tomorrow morning. How much confidence do you have in them? What can they conjure up tomorrow morning to give you something to bowl at?
Yeah, I think we need a bit of a Ashton Agar cameo from a couple of years back. Look, we've just got to come out and bat positive and have some intent like we always talk about, and get as many runs as we can, and then obviously come out and try and put the ball in the right areas and get some wickets and hopefully get some momentum and a roll on.
David, the captain's pretty badly out of form. What do you make of that, and what does it look like from the other end, I suppose?
I don't know what I make of it, but all I know is that he's putting the hard yards in always at training. World-class player. Look at his numbers, they're fantastic. So, look, at the moment, obviously, things aren't going too well for him, and, he's working on his game a lot in the nets, and, I can't fault his efforts there. Obviously, the runs aren't on the board there for him, and I'm sure, as a lot of us are, we're not making the most of, our first innings especially. A lot of us haven't scored as many runs as we'd like, but that's cricket at the end of the day.
Dan.
David, you mentioned the noise of the crowd and the kind of cauldron atmosphere. When you play in England, it's something you don't really get in Test match venues around the world other than Australia when the crowd's on your side. How much of an effect do you think it has? Yeah, like anything, especially over here, like you look at the football, the crowds, the home teams, and you hear all the songs and chants, and then you come over here and you're actually playing the Ashes, and it's the same thing. You got, crowds singing. They're always, obviously going to be behind the English, and sometimes it is hard. I don't know what it's like as an incoming batsman when a guy's bowling a really good spell, but I know when you're out there, you do feel that pressure. You almost feel like a sense of in yourself, you actually feel that little bit of pressure. So, look, it is helpful, definitely by all means, especially when they've got the tail up.
Jimmy Anderson seemed to have a lot to say to you out there. Can you expand on anything there?
No, he didn't really say much to me out there at all. But look, obviously what goes on the field stays in the field. But it was friendly banter, that's for sure.
Rob.
Probably be pretty similar wickets for the next 2 tests. You'd imagine. Are you concerned that these sort of collapses, that the risk of it will keep happening?
Look, it's a fantastic batting wicket. I obviously our runs on the board don't show that, but it's a very nice cricket wicket. Bounce and carry. We saw there for 55 overs or so that the ball's still swinging. We just got to adapt to these conditions and bat long periods of time. At the moment, we're not doing that enough. And whether it's us at the top or in the middle, we're not doing it together as a whole. We did it at Lords, but we've got to be consistent and do that throughout the whole series, not just one game.
David, Nathan Lyon bowled a pretty sort of remarkable spell this morning. He probably would have loomed as your best bet if you can push into the third day. What would be a minimum score you reckon you could defend on a pitch like that if you say it's playing pretty well?
Yeah, Gazza bowled fantastic. I think you probably wouldn't have seen a spinner come on at all this game. But it's handy that there is a bit of bounce and a bit of turn. Look, anything that we can get is a bonus. So I think if I'm being realistic, I think you definitely need at least 150 plus.
Ian.
David, Mitchell Johnson got to a brilliant start this morning. Those two dismissals early. Did you kind of feel that you could have had him out by lunch?
Oh, look, it's a tough question to answer, but going back to Dan's question, I think when you get the crowd sort of going against you a little bit, it does fire people up, and I think that there proved that Jono, came away from yesterday as well, being hammered by the crowd and then coming and bowling those 2 rip snorters as well, and to bring up his 300th wicket as well with a delivery like that was fantastic to see as well from my point of view. But yeah, look, I think it was a great spell from him, and that's how Michael uses him.
Vinny.
Dave, how big a loss could Jimmy Anderson be to England if he has a side strain?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a big loss for them. But look, we've seen what Stephen Finn can do. Look what he did today, produced a fantastic spell. We know what Woody is capable of as well. So, look, they got bowling stocks there, but for us it's, we've got to worry about scoring runs and taking wickets, and, what happens in their camp is in their camp.
Watch every Ashes moment live.
This is like the days of Lillian Thompson.
Buy your live pass at cricket.com.au/subscribe.